Hey guys, Notorious here, and welcome back to a Division 2 builds video. Today I have the final version of my explosives build. This is my explosives build Mark II. It is the predecessor, if that's correct, of my last video. I think I did my explosive builds Mark I or the prototype, so go check out that one if you haven't seen it yet, so then you understand how I got this far with this one. So, as always, do not try and make a carbon copy of what I have. Just make sure you have the same pieces and the same attributes. And weapons vary on whatever you want. There's, of course, what I would recommend, but it's all completely up to you. So, this build contains 2 pieces of Chinese Light Industrial, 2 pieces Honolulu, a 1-piece Wyvern, and this exotic holster, the Waveform. Alright, so let's just get into it exactly. So I happen to have just a Chinese Industrial mask, which gives me my plus 15% explosive damage, and with my chest piece, it is giving me my plus 10% to skill haste. You're just going to want to have skill damage and skill haste on everything. You shouldn't need to mess with anything else. Here we go, yep, and my chest piece, same thing, except for my talents, I went with Explosive Delivery. Whenever you throw a skill within 1.5 seconds after landing, it creates an explosion, damaging enemies in a 5-meter radius, and then depending on how high your skill tier is, it's anywhere between 25 to 100 damage. Excuse me. So basically what you want to do with these skills is always throw them, don't just drop them. Throw them as far as you can, especially in a group of enemies. You'll get that first radius from the explosive delivery, which will do some damage, and then your skills will do the rest of the damage. So that's the whole point in this. For your holster, we have the Waveform. Basically, it generates a stack of 3% skill damage on one of your skills every second, and then after capping of 10, it basically transfers to your other skill. So if you want, you can watch which skill it's going to, so then you know which one has the most damage, and then throw that one first. But I just kind of do whatever, because really, I'm doing so much damage that it doesn't really matter. But if you want to throw out the most damage, just, you'll see at the bottom of where your armor and everything is, you'll see like an arrow going to the left and an arrow going to the right. That'll tell you which skill it's going to. Alright, on my backpack, I went with a Honolulu backpack and Honolulu knee pads. That gives me my plus 10% skill damage and my plus 10% skill haste. Of course, still skill haste and skill damage. And I put, as my talent, I put tech support, which skill kills increase total skill damage by 25% for 25 seconds. I chose this instead of, I believe it's combined arms, which is where you have to shoot and then you get the damage. The reason why for this is because I needed something to last longer, which is that extra 25 seconds, and that's what I chose. I just find this to be more efficient. For my gloves, I went with Wyvern gloves, which gives me that 10% skill damage, and then I just threw on skill haste and skill damage. And for my knees, it is the same thing. Alright, let's get into, I guess, our guns. So, I was lucky enough to get the test subject. I've had this gun for a while. I think it was in my last build. So, test subject is actually a really great assault rifle. I would recommend you farm for it, since it does have perfect in sync on it. You don't need to worry about any other stats. I just threw damage to armor on there in case if I do have to shoot people, since it already has damage to health. Plus you are going to be shooting people in order to get perfect in sync to go. Man, I sound like I have a cold, which I don't. Anyway, so with perfect instinct in sync, hitting an enemy grants 20% skill damage for 5 seconds, and then using a non-shield skill or damaging an enemy with your skills grants 20% weapon damage, and then it's and then damage is doubled if both effects are active at the same time. So that's about 40% skill damage and weapon damage. So if you would like, you can throw on combined arms if you are going to be shooting the whole time, but I like to hide behind cover a lot and just let my skills do the work. So I just kind of shoot them, get the perfect instinct, get both of them doubled, and then I just let my skills do whatever. And then secondly, I have Harmony, which I luckily got again, which is another weapon that has perfect in sync. So if you could run any of these, any weapon that has in sync on it is fine, as long as you have in sync. But if you want to have a perfect, these are the only two guns I know that have it. I don't know if there's any others, but I would recommend getting the test subject so then you get the most bullets out of the gun instead of a rifle, but it's completely up to you. Alright, for our skills, I went with the shrapnel skill. I don't put any mods on it because there's nothing you can. I kind of wish there was like more damage or something, but there isn't. It's only like duration, which is the small problem with using this build. So the shrapnel trap, when you throw it, it'll disperse a bunch of little mines everywhere, and then they'll blow up. And since my cooldown is only like 25 seconds, it's more like probably like 20. It will already like have killed the enemies, and there'll be a few mines left on the ground, and my trap's already ready, so I have to like break it and then throw it again. I kind of wish like it would wait maybe or something. I don't know. It's just, you'll see it in a bit. But anyway, my cooldown, it's about 25.9 seconds. My damage is 2,579,252. Its traps are 15 of them, so you throw them in a nice little area. And this also does work with explosive delivery, because it'll bounce, and then the explosive delivery goes off. Like, it sets the radius, and then the trap will disperse, so you get double the explosion. And since I don't know how much explosive delivery is doing, 100% of your damage scales with skill tier, so I don't really know what that is. I'm guessing it might be 1,000,000, because that's that, or at least I want to say 500,000 damage. I'm not 100% sure how it works, but with that going off and then this going off, like, you can kill a big guy with 3 of these traps, or 2 to 3 of these traps. Alright, then the explosive radius is just 2 meters. Duration, yeah, that's the problem. The duration is 72 seconds. Kind of wish it wasn't. And then since I have max tier, I got the maxed out 6 traps and then the 6 damage. Alright, and then we'll go with this. So I went with the Seeker Mine since I can throw it, and it throws really far. Like, compared to this thing, it doesn't go very far. But this you can basically throw like across the map. That's how great it is. So, yeah, we'll go into that in a second. So my cooldown is about 15 seconds. Health we don't need to worry about because you're just throwing it and then it's blowing up. There is a small problem that if someone kills that enemy beforehand, or there's a small glitch with the Seeker Mine where you'll throw it and then it'll target the enemy and not blow up. I don't know why it does that. It just does. But anyway, its total damage is about 4,711,839. Splash radius is 5.2 meters, and then it has bleed and all that, which we don't need to worry about. They're pretty much dead by the time it hits them. And then since I'm a tier 6, I get the 60% damage and the 30% radius. And then the mods I have on it, I have damage, health, just because that's all I have, and then more damage. So really that's what you want. If you can get these mod slots maxed out, these guys here on the side, or sorry, here and here maxed out, you'll just be doing more damage, which would be nice. If they had something else besides health, I'd throw it on there, which we don't have anything. But that's pretty much about it. Okay, so I guess we can go into exactly what I have for this. Now for my specialist, I went with Demolitionist, since it deals with explosives, which right here, this 10% increase in explosive damage with skills and effects, so that's really what we want, the extra 10%. any of this, it doesn't really matter because we don't really mess with any of this. And then down here, I would just go into whatever guns you have. Since I have a rifle and an assault rifle, I just put more damage into that. But mainly, you just want the demolitionist for this 10% explosive damage. Oh, hey, I think I covered everything. Mods are completely up to you. I just go with mods that help with stability. And I think that's about it. Yeah. Alright, well, I guess since that's it, now you guys are going to see a short, well, probably 5-minute clip or more of me using this build in action, and it'll show you exactly how I use it and how it should be run. If you guys like it, please let me know down in the comments what you think of this. If you haven't already, please sub to the channel. It helps me out a lot. If you're new to the channel, you can stay up to date with more Division videos or any other build videos. I have a Destiny build coming soon, which I know sounds weird. So if you're interested in that, subscribe and stay tuned for more. My name's Notorious, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day.
Agent, are you all right? Sounds like you've got company.